Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt like they held centuries of stories? Blue eyes, rare and luminous, have long captured our imagination. But what if they also held quiet clues about how long we live? There's something timeless about blue eyes. They appear in poetry, art, and whispered family traits passed down through generations. But beyond beauty, researchers are beginning to ask deeper questions. Could eye color be more than appearance? Could it be a quiet reflection of biology, even longevity? In today's video, we'll gently explore the fascinating science and soft folklore behind blue eyes and aging. From genetic markers to immune responses, circadian rhythms to ancient ancestry, each segment invites you to see this rare trait through a new lens. Whether you have blue eyes or simply carry a love for life's mysteries, this journey is for you. The genetic rarity of blue eyes and its evolutionary clues. Blue eyes are more than just beautiful. They're a mystery written into our DNA. Only about 8 to 10% of the world's population has them, making blue eyes one of the rarest human traits. But how did they come to be? And could their rarity tell us something deeper, perhaps even about longevity? Scientists believe all blue-eyed people share a common ancestor, a single human who lived roughly 6,000 to 10,000 years ago near the Black Sea. A mutation occurred in the OCA2 gene, which controls melanin production in the iris. That mutation didn't just change eye color, it may have subtly changed how people experience light, sleep, mood, and more. Why would such a rare trait survive across generations? Some believe it was more than just aesthetic. In northern climates where sunlight was scarce, people with lighter eyes and lighter skin could absorb more light and produce more vitamin D. This meant stronger bones, better immunity, and healthier pregnancies. Over time, this adaptation may have quietly supported not just survival, but vitality. And perhaps longevity. There's no proven blue eye gene for long life. But what's compelling is how certain rare traits often point to deeper genetic strengths. Adaptive quirks that help the body resist disease, regulate stress, or process nutrients more efficiently. Traits that allowed ancestors not only to live, but to endure. If you or someone you love has blue eyes, you're part of that story. A living thread in an ancient tapestry of survival and subtle advantage. Maybe it's not the color itself that grants longevity, but what it represents: resilience, adaptation, and a lineage built to navigate challenge and change. And in a world obsessed with youth, that quiet strength passed down through generations may be the most powerful gift of all. Blue eyes and the FOXO3 longevity gene. Is there a connection? Longevity often feels like a puzzle, one made of habits, environment, and the quiet influence of genes. Among the genes most closely linked to living a longer, healthier life is something called FOXO3. Sometimes referred to as the longevity gene, FOXO3 plays a key role in regulating stress response, DNA repair, and even how efficiently our cells age. But what does this have to do with blue eyes? While the color of our eyes is primarily determined by genes like OCA2 and HERK2, both located on chromosome 15, recent studies have begun to uncover possible interactions between eye color genetics and nearby genes that influence aging. Though FOXO3 itself is found on a different chromosome, chromosome 6, researchers are exploring how genetic variants often travel in clusters, meaning the presence of one inherited trait could be quietly linked to another. Blue-eyed individuals, who all trace back to a shared ancestral mutation, may carry a distinct genetic pattern that doesn't just affect pigmentation, but also how their bodies handle oxidative stress, inflammation, and cellular resilience, all key pillars of the FOXO3 pathway. While no definitive connection between blue eyes and FOXO3 has been established, the intrigue lies in the overlap. Both are rare, both are evolutionarily preserved, and both are tied to systems that support longer life. So if you're blue-eyed, you may not just carry a rare trait, you might be carrying a signature, a whisper from your genetic past that your lineage was built not just for beauty, but for endurance. And as science continues to explore these hidden genetic bridges, one thing becomes clear: the secrets to a long life aren't always loud or obvious. Sometimes, they're quiet, shining gently back at you from the mirror. Sensitivity to light and circadian rhythms in blue-eyed individuals. Blue eyes do more than reflect the world. They absorb it differently. Because they contain less melanin than darker eyes, blue eyes let in more light. This heightened sensitivity doesn't just change how you see, it may influence how your body feels, heals, and ages. Light is more than brightness. It's the silent conductor of your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs everything from sleep cycles to hormone release, body temperature, and even cellular repair. And when that rhythm flows in harmony, your body thrives. But when it's disrupted, aging can accelerate in subtle but powerful ways. People with blue eyes often report greater sensitivity to bright environments, sunlight, headlights, screen glare. But behind that discomfort may lie a deeper biological reality. Their bodies are more responsive to environmental light cues. This can be both a challenge and a gift. On one hand, it can mean sleep disruptions or overstimulation in artificial lighting. On the other, it may make them more attuned to natural daylight, especially the soft, early morning light that helps reset circadian rhythms and promote deep, restorative sleep. And sleep is no small matter. It's during rest that your brain clears waste, your cells repair damage, and your body resets for the day ahead. Good sleep, maintained over decades, is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. So, could the light sensitivity that comes with blue eyes serve as a biological reminder to live in sync with nature's rhythm? To rise with the sun, avoid harsh evening light, and honor the body's need for stillness? Perhaps that's one of the quieter lessons blue eyes carry. That long life isn't just about strong genes, but about tuning into the world around you, and within you, with gentleness, balance, and light. Lower melanin levels, risk or resilience over time. Blue eyes are born from a simple fact: less melanin in the iris. That same trait that gives them their light-catching, ethereal glow also reflects a biological difference that may influence how a person weathers the years. Melanin is a natural pigment found in the skin, eyes, and hair. It serves a powerful purpose, protecting cells from UV damage and oxidative stress. People with darker eyes have more melanin, giving them a built-in shield against the harshness of light and environmental stressors. Those with blue eyes, on the other hand, carry far less of this protective pigment. At first glance, this might seem like a disadvantage: greater vulnerability to light, increased sensitivity to UV exposure, and possibly a higher risk of eye conditions over time. And yes, these are real concerns that require care and awareness. But that's not the full story. Lower melanin levels may have also shaped a body that became more adaptive in other ways. For instance, in sun-scarce northern climates where many blue-eyed populations evolved, less melanin allowed for more efficient vitamin D synthesis, supporting stronger bones, better immunity, and improved mood regulation, each of which plays a role in healthy aging. What emerges is a picture of biological trade-offs, where the lack of one protective element is balanced by another quiet strength. Blue-eyed individuals may need to guard their vision more carefully, avoid prolonged sun exposure, and be mindful of oxidative stress. But they also carry an innate efficiency in harnessing light, absorbing essential nutrients, and adapting to low-light environments that others may find difficult. So, is having less melanin a risk? In some ways, yes. But in others, it's a sign of resilience. Because longevity isn't just about what protects you, it's about how well your body learns to thrive, even with what it lacks. And in that balance, blue eyes may hold their own quiet power. Blue eyes and neurological aging. What research suggests: as we grow older, one of the greatest fears we quietly carry is losing our sharpness, our memory, our focus, the ability to stay connected to the world around us. Neurological aging touches every family in some way. And while many factors contribute to how our brains age, some scientists are now asking, could eye color, specifically blue eyes, offer subtle insights? Blue-eyed individuals, because of their genetic makeup, process light and sensory input differently. But beyond vision, researchers are beginning to explore how the genes associated with eye color might also influence neurological resilience, especially in the later decades of life. Some early studies suggest a potential link between blue eyes and differences in dopamine regulation, a neurotransmitter essential for mood, memory, and mental clarity. These subtle neurological patterns may affect how people handle stress, how quickly they recover from mental fatigue, and even how they age cognitively. It's not conclusive, and the science is still emerging. But it raises a compelling idea, that eye color might be a marker, not a cause, of deeper genetic traits influencing brain health. Traits that could explain why some people remain mentally agile into their 80s and 90s, even without obvious lifestyle advantages. Of course, blue eyes don't guarantee protection, just as they don't ensure decline. But what they may reflect is a set of inherited traits, slightly different brain chemistry, different sensory processing, and possibly a different way of adapting to the challenges of time. And maybe that's the lesson. Our eyes don't just see the world, they're shaped by it. And in their color, their sensitivity, and their biology, they might quietly tell the story of how well we've learned to think, feel, and remember. Because longevity isn't just about how long we live, it's about how long we stay awake, aware, and wonderfully ourselves. Personality patterns linked to blue eyes and stress response. There's something almost poetic about how blue eyes, cool, calm, reflective, seem to mirror the inner world of the people who carry them. While personality is shaped by countless factors, upbringing, experience, environment, emerging science suggests our biology may quietly influence how we react to stress, connect with others, and move through life. Psychological research, particularly in Europe and parts of Asia, has shown intriguing patterns. People with blue eyes often score higher on traits like self-control, strategic thinking, and emotional restraint. They may appear calm in conflict, less reactive under pressure, and more methodical in decision-making. It's not that they feel less, it's that they may process stress internally, carefully, almost silently. This internalization can be both a strength and a vulnerability. On one hand, it creates a steady, composed demeanor, something that may reduce emotional wear and tear over time. On the other, it can lead to chronic internal stress, the kind that builds quietly and affects heart health, sleep, and immune function if not released. Interestingly, these personality tendencies may also intersect with aging. Studies show that emotional regulation, especially in midlife and later years, is linked to better health outcomes and longer life. People who remain calm under pressure tend to have lower inflammation, slower cellular aging, and stronger social bonds, all protective factors for longevity. So, if you have blue eyes and often feel things deeply but show them sparingly, you may be living out a pattern shaped by both biology and history. A kind of quiet resilience that has helped your ancestors adapt, survive, and endure. But even calm souls need release. Whether through creativity, movement, or connection, learning to soften stress from within may not only support your emotional well-being, it may gently add years to your life and depth to the ones already lived. Regional longevity hotspots with high blue-eyed populations. Longevity has always fascinated us. Around the world, there are rare pockets, known as blue zones, where people live longer, healthier lives than almost anywhere else. Okinawa, Sardinia, Icaria. These regions have been studied for their diets, social lives, and daily habits. But there's another quiet pattern worth noticing. Some of the longest living populations also have a higher prevalence of blue eyes. Take certain regions of Scandinavia, where blue eyes are common and life expectancy consistently ranks among the highest in the world. Or the Baltic states, with a large blue-eyed population and a long tradition of outdoor living, nutrient-rich foods, and strong family ties. While correlation isn't causation, it raises a thought-provoking question. Could genetics tied to eye color subtly contribute to these healthy aging patterns? It may not be the blue eyes themselves, but what they hint at, a shared genetic ancestry, possibly carrying traits that protect against chronic disease, support immune resilience, or improve cellular repair. Coupled with lifestyle, like cold exposure, clean air, and a diet rich in omega-3s, these populations seem built for endurance. And yet, many of these cultures also place high value on simplicity, connection, and nature. Traits that support emotional well-being just as much as physical. Traits that can't be measured in blood tests, but shape how the years unfold. So maybe blue eyes don't hold the secret alone, but they appear in places where people live in tune with both their biology and the land around them. Where old age is not feared, but folded into the rhythm of daily life. And in that quiet convergence of genetics and lifestyle, we may find something powerful, not a miracle gene, but a gentle reminder that long life is not just a gift, it's a way of being, repeated with care across generations. Eye color and immune response. A curious correlation. Our immune system is a quiet force, working around the clock to protect us from illness, heal wounds, and even slow the effects of aging. While many factors shape its strength, nutrition, sleep, genetics, scientists are beginning to explore whether eye color plays a small but fascinating role in how the immune system responds to the world. Blue eyes are a result of lower melanin, the same pigment that protects us from UV radiation and helps regulate oxidative stress. Melanin also interacts with the immune system in subtle ways. People with darker features often have more robust innate immune responses, strong and immediate reactions to potential threats. But those with blue eyes may rely more on their adaptive immune system, which is slower to respond, but more precise over time. This difference may mean that blue-eyed individuals experience fewer overactive immune reactions, such as allergies or autoimmune flare-ups, especially as they age. Their immune system may be slower to ignite, but also less likely to burn out or attack the body by mistake. In the long run, this measured response could be a quiet advantage in maintaining balance and reducing chronic inflammation. On the other hand, blue-eyed individuals may be slightly more vulnerable to viral infections or seasonal illness in early life, requiring more time to develop immunity. But once the adaptive system is trained, it becomes efficient, focused, and long-lasting, offering potential resilience in the later decades of life. So, while eye color isn't a predictor of immune strength in isolation, it may be part of a broader biological rhythm, one that shapes how we heal, how we adapt, and how long our bodies stay in harmony. In this light, blue eyes may be more than a trait of appearance. They might reflect a slower, steadier way of staying well, and staying well for longer. Blue eyes and vitamin D metabolism. In the quiet dance between our bodies and the sun, one nutrient plays a starring role. Vitamin D essential for bone health, immune strength, mood balance, and even longevity. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin. And interestingly, people with blue eyes may have evolved to process it differently. Blue eyes are typically found in populations that originated in Northern Europe, where sunlight was limited for much of the year. In these low-light environments, having lighter skin and eyes became a survival advantage, not for beauty, but for biology. With less melanin in the skin and iris, the body could absorb sunlight more efficiently, producing vitamin D more rapidly from minimal sun exposure. This adaptation may have contributed to stronger bones, fewer rickets in children, healthier pregnancies, and more robust immune systems, allowing these populations to survive and thrive in climates where the sun was fleeting. Today, this evolutionary trait still matters. People with blue eyes may still absorb vitamin D more effectively, especially in mild sunlight. But modern life, spent indoors, behind screens, under artificial light, means that even those with efficient systems can become deficient. And low vitamin D has been tied to everything from depression and fatigue to increased risk of heart disease and cognitive decline with age. So while your blue eyes may be a sign of ancestral adaptation, they're also a gentle reminder. Your body was designed to be in nature, to rise with the sun, and to draw strength from light. If you have blue eyes, consider how your biology may still echo those northern landscapes, where even the faintest sunlight was life-giving. Step outside. Feel the light. Let it nourish not just your skin, but your spirit. Because in every quiet sunbeam lies the power to protect your future, one soft morning at a time. Fact versus folklore. Are blue eyes really a longevity marker? For generations, blue eyes have carried a kind of mystique. They've been called rare, magical, even otherworldly. In some cultures, they're seen as a sign of wisdom or hidden strength. And quietly, a question has lingered in whispers and wonder. Do blue eyes mean you'll live longer? It's tempting to believe in such a beautiful idea, that eye color could be a secret signal of longevity. And while folklore has painted blue eyes with reverence, science offers a more nuanced, and even more powerful, truth. There's no single study that claims blue eyes guarantee a longer life. But there are patterns. Certain regions with higher blue-eyed populations do show longer lifespans. Traits commonly linked to blue-eyed individuals, such as lighter melanin levels, heightened light sensitivity, and potentially more adaptive immune or circadian systems, may quietly support healthy aging. But those patterns are pieces of a much larger puzzle. Longevity is not about one feature. It's the result of thousands of interactions between your genes, your habits, your environment, and your mindset. Blue eyes might hint at resilience. They might reflect ancestral traits shaped by centuries of survival. But they are not a promise. And they are not a limitation, either. If you have blue eyes, you carry a unique lineage, one that adapted to thrive in dark winters, to absorb light, to move through the world with quiet strength. That's worth honoring. But your future? That's still yours to shape. So perhaps the myth holds a quiet kind of truth, not because of the color itself, but because of the story behind it. A story of adaptation, subtle power, and endurance passed through generations. And whether your eyes are blue or not, that truth belongs to all of us. Longevity isn't in how we look, it's in how we live. Our eyes don't just see the world, they reflect it. And sometimes, they hold the quiet echoes of where we come from, and how far we're meant to go. Whether blue, brown, green, or hazel, your longevity is shaped not just by what you inherit, but by how you live, love, and care for yourself across the years. If this video brought you a moment of wonder or clarity, please consider liking it, sharing it with someone you care about, and subscribing for more content that blends science with soul. And tell us in the comments, what eye color runs in your family, and what wisdom has it carried with it?